All right, guys, welcome to the video. And I have been getting a lot of requests to cover a covered call video ever since I made the video on selling puts on the Chase You Invest trading account. So I have decided I will make a video to kind of walk you guys through exactly how to sell covered calls in your Chase investment account. Before we get into it, just want to say a few things. One, if you're not familiar with options, make sure that you are. I have made a pretty long and detailed video covering exactly what options are. I will link that in the iCard here. Make sure you check that out if you're not familiar with the basics. Number two is I have another video where I walk you guys through how to open a Chase investment account and get a sign-up bonus. So if you are going to open a Chase account, might as well get paid to do that. So I will link that video in the iCard here as well. So check that out if you don't already have a Chase investment account. I do have a few other Chase videos as well. So if you are someone who likes to be in the Chase ecosystem, might be a good idea to check those videos out as well. Another thing I want to mention is that I am not a financial advisor, so no information in this video or on my channel should be considered as financial advice. I'm just a guy on the internet. So with that being said, let's dive right into it. I will log into my Chase account and walk you guys through how to sell covered calls. Obviously, I will block out some sensitive information just so that I don't have all its personal information floating out on the internet. So let's dive right into it. All right, guys, so now that we are logged into our Chase accounts, so we will go into our investment account by JP Morgan. This is what it says. It used to be Chase You Invest. They just changed the name. Everything else remains the same. What was Chase You Invest is now Investment Accounts by JP Morgan. So just click on the account so it takes you there. Okay, perfect. So now we are in our Chase investment account. Now, if you are familiar with covered calls, you know you have to have 100 shares of a certain stock to be able to sell one covered call. Once again, I've covered everything in detail in the options video I linked in the iCard earlier, but just to summarize, you will be able to sell one covered call or one call option if you have 100 shares of a certain stock. We will just use Apple as an example for this video. So if you have 100 shares of Apple, you can sell one covered call option. If you have 200 shares of Apple, you'll be able to sell two covered call options. If you have 300 shares of Apple, you'll be able to sell three covered call options, right? So if that's the case, question to you guys, how many covered calls can you sell if you have, say, 250 shares of Apple? You might want to pause this video before I give you guys the answer. The answer is two covered calls. So for the first 100 shares, you'll be able to sell one covered call. For the next 100 shares, you'll be able to sell another covered call. But for the next 50 shares that you have, you won't be able to sell one more covered call because you only have 50 shares and you need 100 to sell a covered call. So hopefully the math makes sense. So in order to sell a covered call, first, as you can see, there is no stocks or anything in my investment account here. I'm just sitting in all cash. So let's try to buy 100 shares of Apple, and then we'll move on to selling covered calls. So step number one, buy 100 shares of the stock you want to sell those call options on. In this case, we'll look at Apple. So we click on get a quote and we type the ticker symbol for Apple. Okay, so we're here in this page where we can trade Apple. We click on trade. We want to buy. Let's just say it's a market order, which means it will fill at whatever the market price is. We need to buy 100 shares for selling one covered call. Maximum number of shares is 115. They have done a basic math on the amount of money I have in the account, and they've told me that you cannot buy more than 115 shares. I think it's a pretty handy feature, but we only need to buy 100, so we have enough money to buy 100 shares. Time in force is day, as in this order will be active for only one trading day. And it's going to cost me about a little over $13,000. Click on preview. And it says the market is closed. The price of this security may change significantly when the market reopens. Now, obviously, I'm shooting this video on a Saturday when the market is closed. But if you're to move forward with the trade, you would click on accept, and your order would be in queue. As soon as the market opens, your order is going to go through and you will have 100 shares of Apple. So here I've shown you how to buy 100 shares of Apple. So you're halfway through. After you have 100 shares of a certain stock, in this case Apple, you will now move to options to sell the covered call. So you see this button here that says options. We'll click on that. Okay, let's put in the symbol for Apple. Okay, we are trying to trade calls, so we'll click on call. Expiration, as in when this option expires. Let's go approximately 1 month away. So currently Apple is trading at $131. So let's go for 132 because it's currently trading at a little over $131. So the next strike price up is 132. Here it says volume, open interest. Don't worry about that. And we are selling covered calls, right? So we will be the ones selling the calls. So we will click on sell to open. And I never select market when it comes to options because they're extremely volatile. So I will click on limit and I will be able to select the price that I want for the options. And here you can see that the range is from $3.45 to $3.55. So I'm just going to go with $3.55. Okay, since I don't own any shares of Apple in my Chase investment account, they're showing that maximum contracts is 0. But if I had 100 shares, I'd be able to sell one contract. So we put that in there as well. time in force, how long this offer, how long this order would be active. Choose day as well. And let me see, we are ready. And here you will see the estimated order value is $355. So if you're familiar with options, if you're not, once again, I'm going to tell this again, go check out that video because I go into a lot of detail. But I'm assuming you are familiar with the whole options trading thing by now, or at least have a basic understanding of that. $355, right? For about a $13,146 of investment. So let's see what that comes out to be. 355 divided by 13,142. That is about 2.7% return on a 1 month period. The stock market returns about 10% on an average throughout the span of 1 year. So if things go according to plan, making 2.7% per month is not bad in my opinion. And also keep in mind, given how options work, your chances of losses are quite limited. I mean, there are chances of loss. Nothing is a foolproof thing, but the amount of risk I would have to take in order to get this kind of return, I am personally okay with that. Everyone's different. Everyone has a different risk tolerance. So I'm not saying you have to do it or others would have to do it. What makes sense for me is not the right decision for everyone, but for me, this is a decent rate of return. Then we click on preview. And here it would say, we cannot place your order. Not permitted to write uncovered calls. So once again, it comes back to the fact that we don't own 100 shares of Apple in this account, but if you followed the process from the beginning of the video and you bought 100 shares of Apple, you would be able to sell one covered call option. It's called covered calls because that one call option is covered by 100 shares that you own. So hopefully this makes sense. I will make more videos like this. If you have any questions, guys, please leave them in the comment section below. It's understandable if there are questions, so no problems. Leave them in the comment section below and I'll do my best to answer them. Also, what I'll do is I will probably move this money to my Fidelity account and actually walk you guys through that in Fidelity account on how to sell calls and puts. If you would like to see that as well, leave that in the comment section below. If I get enough responses, I'll go ahead and do that. Hopefully you guys found this video helpful. Once again, guys, I do have a full playlist for options and Chase Bank products, so make sure you check that out. And if you like contents like this, personal finance, investing, trading, anything with a dollar sign in front of it, feel free to subscribe to this channel so you don't miss the new videos coming out. So that's it for today. I'll catch you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.